Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana Midday.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Midday. I'm Jessica Velez. Ball State's women's basketball team will be heading to the NCAA tournament for March Madness. Following a 65-58 victory over the Toledo Rockets on Saturday, the Cards punched their ticket to the dance for the first time since 2009. Audrey Spencer, who played on the 2009 team, will be joining the Cards this season as associate head coach. The squad will be heading to Waco, Texas to take on the Ole Miss Rebels as the 12th seed. Spencer says 12 will be the lucky number.
So the best thing about tonight is that we're a 12 seed. That's what we were when we went and beat Tennessee in the first round. So I'm over the moon that that's the seed that we are, because history is definitely going to repeat itself.
The Cardinals play the Rebels on Friday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. The game will be streaming on ESPNU. Can the Trump administration deport people without hearings, and will it obey judicial decisions? Deportations of alleged gang members to El Salvador over the weekend could set up legal battles involving those questions. Amy Kiley reports on their significance.
He feels like he has a mandate to do all of these things.
It's up to a judge to determine if the Trump administration violated a temporary restraining order over the weekend, and if so, how to respond. He's U.S. District Judge James Boasberg. His order Saturday evening demands the administration stop using the Alien Enemies Act to deport people without hearings. But the Trump administration says it did use that wartime law to deport hundreds of alleged gang members over the weekend. In a statement, the press secretary says they were outside U.S. territory by the time of the written order. She doesn't mention the judge's earlier verbal order that any flights involved turn around.
They are looking to push the bounds, and they have no problem doing this.
A legal analyst says verbal orders are binding. He says the issue comes down to the location of any planes involved when the judge gave his mandate. He says if they were in U.S. territory and left, that's a violation. If they had landed, that's not. And if they were mid-flight,
now we're going to get into a gray area.
Analysts say what happened pushes legal boundaries in two ways. One, it sets up a potential legal battle over deporting people without hearings.
Bad pun, but it trumps every other legislation that we have.
And two,
it does raise questions about whether President Trump and his team are going to follow judges' orders.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The Alien Enemies Act was most recently used to justify the internment of Japanese nationals during World War II. The law is designed to be invoked if the U.S. is at war with another country or if a foreign nation has invaded the U.S. or threatened to do so. A professor at Brown University was deported to Lebanon despite a judge's order to block her removal from the country. Dr. Rasha Alwish is a Lebanese civilian who lives in Providence. She's held a visa to be in the U.S. since 2018. She works at a medical practice affiliated with Brown's Medical School, where she is also an assistant professor. The doctor was detained Thursday after returning to the U.S. from a trip to see relatives in Lebanon. According to a lawsuit filed by her cousin on Friday, a federal judge in Massachusetts got involved. The judge ordered the government to provide the court with a 48-hour notice before deporting the doctor. And after the court order, her cousin's attorney says Alwish was flown to Paris on Sunday. The judge said there was no reason to believe the U.S. Customs and Border Protection willfully disobeyed his previous order. The agency has not said why the doctor was expelled. A hearing on the case is scheduled for Monday. CNN correspondent Brian Abel recaps U.S. involvement in the Russo-Ukrainian ceasefire.
On Air Force One last night, U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters that negotiators have already discussed dividing up certain assets between Russia and Ukraine. This is ahead of President Trump's conversation with Putin, the president of Russia, on Tuesday. Now, this comes also after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky agreed to a U.S.-backed ceasefire deal. That would be a 30-day ceasefire, essentially putting that proverbial ball back into Russia's court. But Putin, he has been somewhat ambiguous with his response to that ceasefire agreement, or deal rather, but also he's demanding concessions from Kyiv along with tough conditions for any ceasefire, making the conversations and the negotiations quite difficult. Now, conceding territory, that's what's really difficult about this, because it's been a non-starter for Zelensky. However, the U.S. has said that Ukraine will have to do that if they are to end this war, and Russia has demanded it. Now, President Trump also told reporters on Sunday that, quote, "We'll see if we have something to announce maybe by Tuesday," saying a lot of work has happened over the weekend to negotiate an end to the largest land conflict in Europe since World War II. At the White House, Brian Abel reporting.
At least 39 deaths in 7 states are blamed on a powerful storm system that tore across the country. Multiple states were hit with tornadoes, wildfires, and even dust storms. There have been 80 reports of tornadoes across the central and southern U.S. since Friday, including 2 confirmed EF4 tornadoes in Arkansas. Those tornadoes packed winds between 170 and 190 miles per hour. Property damage assessments and the cleanup process have just started in communities that were devastated by the severe weather. The Trump administration said Sunday it is ready to assist in the aftermath of the storms. Let's take a look at today's NewsLink Indiana weather. These are the conditions right now. It's 38 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Expect a mix of sun and clouds today with a high around 50 degrees, typical for weather this time. Expect lots of ups and downs in the 7-day forecast. Highs will range from around 70 tomorrow to the 40s on Thursday. The next chance of rain comes in late Wednesday. A video of 4 snow leopards in northern Pakistan has excited conversationalists and animal watchers due to how rare the sighting is. These videos were taken by a gamekeeper in the Kankerman mountain range, among some of the highest mountain ranges in the world. The gamekeeper had spent a week tracking the leopards by their paw prints before finally capturing them by luck from the rooftop of his home. Snow leopards are exceptionally exclusive amongst big cats and are currently listed as vulnerable by an international conservation group's list of threatened species. Locals living alongside the leopards often refer to them as the ghosts of the mountains, as they are hardly ever seen. This Wednesday and Thursday, Ball State's Creative Writing Department is hosting their annual Imprint Festival. Director of the Creative Writing Program, Katie Didden, explains what you can look forward to and why this year's event is so special.
This is a really special year for us because it's the 20th anniversary of the Imprint Festival. So we are throwing a huge party to celebrate that. We've invited a panel of all Ball State alumni, so they're coming back to campus. So it's kind of a homecoming. We're committed to it being free to the public. We would love it for the community to feel welcome to the campus.
The Imprint Festival is on Wednesday, March 19th and Thursday, March 20th, starting at 7 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom. And that's your NewsLink webcast for today. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us tonight at 6:57 on Ball State PBS. And for news anywhere, anytime, go to ballstatedaily.com.